it different casting in different markets in terms of actors or maybe style, or is there any difference in maybe say Canada versus New York? Do you go to smaller markets as well or not?
Yes. Oh, yes, I do. And sometimes I have to, do non-union and stuff like that. So is it different? Yes. I mean, LA and New York, you're spoiled. You're spoiled. And, I personally, look, I'm from New York, so I'm slightly biased in terms of the theater. I love pulling from theatrical communities because, they've got a lot of, theatrical education behind it. I think I get excited when I have the opportunity to work in New York. I don't really get to work here very often. I think it used to be that I would do most of my work here or half the year here. And now if I'm lucky, it's once or twice a year. So I would say mostly LA. LA obviously has wonderful actors, incredible diversity. So I'm spoiled. When you go to Canada, it's harder because the ethnicity is different. It's a different pool. Often when we go to Canada, I'm also shooting non-union. So it's mostly a white pool. So it's challenging. It's white and Asian. And so it's that I love shooting in Vancouver. It's one of my favorite places in the world to shoot, but I know it's going to be it's going to be a little bit harder given, the American diversity that has gotten so much better. That's another part that, I often fought for as a director. That was very, very frustrating to me up until recently. I want to say the last couple of years we're actually allowed to have a more diverse cast, and clients want a more diverse cast, but it wasn't that long ago.
Like couples that are two different ethnicities.
Almost as a rule now.
Yeah, I'm like, look at that. I remember years ago that would never happen.
Not that long ago. I mean, it's crazy. Also, and this would even be, my agency would be, of color. And they themselves would tell me, oh no, in this vignette, the fireman can't be Black because the vignette before, the teacher's going to be Black. And so those two vignettes are going to go side by side. And I was like, why can't they both be Black? And they were like, well, I was like, but we have white on white. Yeah. And they were like, well, I was like, well, what? And they're like, well, I was like, I don't know, because these are the best people for these roles. Like I've pushed, and I've been told so many times, from clients, are you calling us racist? I'm like, oh, I'm not saying anything.
I'm just saying that these two vignettes could go next to each other.
I'm just saying that, listen, I pick the best people for the role. And if they happen to be, whatever they are, I'm sorry, but that has changed drastically. I feel like clients have felt pressure to represent Americans as they really are. And, hopefully that change will stay. And it's been really freeing and liberating. I mean, I used to also, you're doing a party, you have to have a mix of everybody. It's like, why? Come on. It's not, anyway. But there's something else that you said, about casting pools. It's interesting too, when I work in certain markets, there are certain stereotypes. It's interesting that in Hispanic markets, they really do want a more polished person. And so that's been a bit, I do a lot of Hispanic market spots, and we kind of go a little head to head. And I realize that I have to give them what they want, mm-hmm. But it's hard for me because I want, a slightly more real vibe and not so perfect. But that's the fine line that we balance.